13th day in the month of June 2023. And of course, I will be discussing a whole lot today. I'll be touching on the issues around surrounding, the court order that the IG and of course the AIG should be arrested for contempt. Yeah, and of course we'll be taking a look at the 10th NAS is a big one this afternoon for almost every Nigerian. It is an ellipse of every Nigerian. But then we'll get to touch on that and a couple of stories. Okay, so I just ask you to just breeze up and let's flow together this afternoon. Okay, we're streaming on YouTube, that is VOP 90.3 FM. You can quickly go there and of course join the conversation. VOP 90.3 FM. And when I get to open up the studio lines, then I would have you talk. I would have you talk about some of these issues alongside. Okay, but all I ask you to do, like I said, is just stay with me and let's roll together. But hey, let me let you know that I have a former commissioner of police here. I'm talking about CP Chuks Inwawu. He is with us again. He'll be joining us from, is he Houston, Texas, or where is he exactly? Let me ask today. First of all, good afternoon to you, CP.
To all the listeners.
Yes, I was asking if it's Houston, Texas, or where exactly are you?
Well, as we speak, I am in Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta. Atlanta,
Yeah.
Georgia.
Georgia, yes.
Yeah.
But in the next few days, I should be in Washington, D.C.
Oh, in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I wish I could carry this studio along so we could go to these places. Let's touch these places together, as we discuss with Nigerians on air.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's get talking quickly. CP, let's start from here. First of all, now we have a former governor of Akwa Ibom State, Govt Akpabio, as the Senate president of the 10th, assembly. Akpabio, according to people, is the preferred candidate of the All Progressives Congress. The voting in the election of a new Senate president commenced and it ended. And of course, it was hard fought anyway. But then the big deal is, or the big news is that Akpabio, a former governor of Akwa Ibom State, is now the Senate president of the 10th Assembly, or is now the Senate president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. CP, did you see this coming?
Yes. I saw it coming. I saw it close to 1 year ago when they had the APC convention, presidential internal democracy, where they nominated the present president. That was the time I knew that he would become the Senate president if he succeeds in getting himself back to the Senate. Because, he was one of the early speakers when they were presenting their manifesto in that APC convention. He's not the man to reel out what he has to offer Nigerians as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, if he's lucky to become one. He stood up and made a brief remark and said he was stepping down for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And everybody was stunned, those who were in the convention and those of us who are not politicians, who were watching, the convention live. So I said, well, this man must be a very tactical and strategic politician. to have taken this decision, because it is not easy to take such a decision. It's not easy in the sense that he has already resigned his position as a minister in charge of Niger Delta Development Commission. And it's like entering murky waters. You're not sure of what you meet. It was a big gamble, but at last it has paid him off. So when the president was declared and eventually sworn in, I knew that paid back time is just on the way. It's just a question of time. So I wasn't really surprised on what played out at the gallery of the upper chambers today.
But earlier, the name of the person of Orji Uzor Kalu sounded so loud that all, Nigerians thought, hey, Orji Uzor Kalu is already, taking over the position. And all of a sudden, there was, the table shifted. And for you were saying you already saw that coming. Then we should ask ourselves, what happened to Orji Uzor Kalu?
No, you see, it's like fate accomplished. His fate had already been determined. He was only making efforts to see if he could be lucky to turn the tide. And at the end of the day, it's difficult to sway such decisions. Once the inner caucus goes in and consider one or two things, well, they'll come out and take their decision. And the followership have no choice than to heed to the tunes and direction of the mother party, which is the APC, on the platform of which they were able to enter that red chambers. So it will be a case of sabotage if a party has taken a decision and tells you that this is the direction we are going, and you do something to the contrary. That is what they call anti-party activity. And it is not, in good number of cases, easily forgiven. You pay seriously for it because it's like a treachery. It's a treacherous stand for you to go in that direction. So since they had endorsed the new president of the Senate, all other efforts is like trying to play in sentiments, play politics, and see whether the tide could turn. But at the end of the day, it didn't change anything. So with what a lot of us expected came out to be the position.
Okay, but then earlier again, in the build up to all of this, we also saw the person of Izunaso, queuing for this same position. And I also recall last weekend or thereabout, some persons came out to say this position should be given to the Southwest, the Southeast rather, that the position should be given to the Southeast. I mean, for fairness, justice and equity's sake, that this same position should be given to someone from the Southeast. And now, I mean, I also remember what Asari Dokubo also said, that this same position should be given to someone in the Southeast for fairness sake. If the president wants to be fair enough, But now the situation is quite different. What do we say then?
Let me be frank with you. I had told you this earlier, that the pause I feel from a lot of people, well-meaning persons from the Southeast in the course of discussion. They are not enthusiastic about leading the National Assembly. That is not their interest. Their interest is because they feel they have been denied since, do I say, since after the Civil War, we've had 1979 civilian or democratic dispensation, that's the Second Republic. We have had the Third Republic in 1992 till Abacha aborted it in 17th of November 1993. We have had Fourth Republic from May 29, 1999, and they felt that the thing has gone to the southwest, gone to the northwest, came to the south-south. Then this time around, it's coming again to the south. Went to the northwest twice. This time it's coming to the south. They expected balance or equity for it to come to the southeast. So for the fact that they didn't get it this time around, I believe their thinking is to go back to the drawing board and know exactly where things had gone wrong and work on that. That is just their interest. So if they feel that anybody in the National Assembly clamoring for that is just doing it for his own selfish reason or purpose. He's not doing it to reflect the interests of the Southeast. That's the way the average Southeasterner, they are leaders of thought, has been seeing it. And furthermore, if you ask some of them, they'll tell you that during the 1999 to 2007, when they produced 5 presidents of the Senate under Chief Olusegun Obasanjo presidency, what did the 5 Senate presidents do for the Southeast? You come to find out that the position is just setting the legislative leadership. It does not transform into, as such, it doesn't transform into bringing development substantially to the region. They believe it is he who has the executive powers as the president that can do that, especially if the president is focused and the president is altruistic, the president is nationalistic, and the president is such that will bring in principles of equity, fairness, and justice to the people. They believe that that is where the El Dorado lies. That is where the expected dividends of democracy will be actualized. So having not been able to get that, it is left for them as politicians to go back, like I said, to the drawing board and re-strategize. Power belongs to God. It is a transient thing. It is not a permanent thing. When the nick of time comes, whoever God has blessed that will come from that part of the country will find himself in that position. But let me pray too that whoever finds himself whenever in that place should be God-fearing, should unify the entire Nigerian state, and should bring peace and happiness to all Nigerians and non-Nigerians in the Nigerian space.
You earlier made mention of the fact that, Akpabio, did something drastic, took a drastic measure, during the primary, by stepping down for, Asiwaju Tinubu, Ahmed Tinubu then. But now, should we now say or see the Senate seat, the seat of the seat of the Senate president as a compensation plan, as it were? Should we now call that a compensation plan? I mean, is it for a certain set of people or for the Federation, for Nigerians?
Well, from what I've seen, it is for Nigerians. I don't really see it as a compensation plan. The first question we have to ask ourselves is the competence, the capacity and the capability of the person that has just been made the Senate president. If you look at these three criteria, you see that the man is eminently qualified to be there. He will surely drive the National Assembly in the direction that will surprise Nigerians. At least having been the governor of Akwa Ibom State between 2007 to 2015, his uncommon transformation is a testimony to the fact that the man is a highly focused person who has always known what he wants and how to go around and get it, not just for himself, but for the people at large. So let me see how he will bring that his transformation, the uncommon transformation he did in Akwa Ibom, to the national level. And let's see how the thing will unfold or play out. So I don't see anything wrong in him occupying that position. He's eminently qualified by all standards, and I believe he will perform.
According to, okay, before I go that way, let me bring this to the fore. First of all, the fact that, you know, some persons, some, you know, groups, for instance, the ACF, you know, at the time also kicked against the emergence of Akpabio as the Senate president. A whole lot of persons kicked against it. I also mentioned the fact that you know, Asari Dokubo also kicked against it. They said, well, Akpabio is, like you also said, Akpabio is, if you look at it, is, you know, is good enough, you know, to become the Senate president. He has all, you know, the qualification to become the Senate president. But on the other way, when we look at it, you know, he said, if you look at it, you will discover that Akpabio is not the person who should lead the Senate for now. According to him, for justice, fairness, and for equity's sake. Now, some persons are also saying that the reason why it's like that, the reason why, you know, no one from the Southeast is chosen as the Senate president is the fact that the Igbos did not vote for, you know, the current president, Asiwaju Tinubu. So it's like as if Igbos are paying for, you know, not voting for the president. Don't you see things that way also?
Well, for me, I don't see things that way. Unless you're trying to say that the Senate is allowing itself to become an extension of the executive. In other words, the legislature is not independent on its own. It is a party thing. I think it's a party decision. They had sat in as inner caucus and decided that this is the person they are going to give. And when they took that decision, they didn't really look at whether he's from South or Southeast. The bottom line is that he's neither from the North nor from the West. That may have been their consideration. So as far as that issue is concerned, it is a party decision. It is the APC that took their decision and came because of the overwhelming majority in the House. And majority carries the day. That was exactly what they did. They didn't want to be swayed by any primordial sentiment arguments. And I don't find any reason why people should have faults on that. That is not even the main issue for now. The focus should be on let the National Assembly come up and do their work. They should hit the ground running, because if you look at the situation generally, it is messy. So we need to fix Nigeria and move it forward. And there are three arms of the government. Judiciary is already running. The executive is running too. So the National Assembly should do their work and ensure that they do their checks and balances, especially on the executive, which is what the Constitution has provided for.
All right. I would. Let me see. I want to play out what Asari Dokubo said. For those who did not get to listen, to what he said, I want to relay that again, and ask you, CP, again, if you feel that Asari was wrong with what he said. Okay, I'll play this out immediately, and of course, get your own, take as regards this. Let's take a listen at what he said.
Today, so
that we can have a pillar and a rallying point in the Southeast. Because President, Vice President, Senate President, Speaker, Secretary to Government, Chief of Staff, there is nobody from the Southeast. And this is one of the most organized, volatile areas today, with propaganda at the international stage. It will be wrong for us to totally ignore them. There is nothing Akpabio can add to you at this particular time. Nothing Akpabio can add to you at this particular time. I don't have anything personal against Akpabio, but like the way I supported you when you came out, I supported you when it was difficult to call your name, when people were ashamed to associate with Ahmed Bola Tinubu. I stood my ground till the end. Even when he won and they convinced everybody that May 29 will not be, I stood. I am telling you as a friend, as a brother, not as a politician looking for political position. I am not looking for any appointment. I am telling you that let the Senate presidency be given to the Southeast. Yes, the Southeastern politicians betrayed, like Amechi and others in the South. They betrayed. And that is what you have seen yourself, that it was difficult to call their name. It was difficult to associate with Ahmed Bola Tinubu in the Southeast and in the South. Especially when you are a Christian. How can you be in Ibiomie church when Ibiomie is hell-bent on seeing that you fail? So if somebody is in Ibiomie church and supporting you, do you know what the pains, the agony, the ostracization that he went through to make you win? Yes, the Southeastern politician went out. They went out and fought for themselves. We all know that. Ordinarily, we will say they cannot reap where they did not sow. Right? They cannot reap where they did not sow. But but the expediency of the period, what the period in which we are today, we have to make sacrifices, we have to overlook certain things, we have to overlook certain wrong to bring everybody together. We need somebody in the southeast to stand in the gap between us and these evil people and work for the success of your government. The question is, what value, even in the South, will an Akpabio add to your government? People say you are making enemies, you are making unnecessary enemies. I have always made enemies. All my life, I have made enemies. All my life. If Akpabio, for me saying the truth, means that Akpabio feels that I'm his enemy, so be it. I have always made enemies in my life. I scarcely made friends. I scarcely make friends. Akpabio have nothing. He has nothing to add to this government. He has nothing to add to the success of this government. And it will be one of the greatest mistakes, and it will be one of the things that will be held against you for leaving the Southeast out of this government, for leaving the Southeast out of this movement.
Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Yeah, I'm back. I just could not play out almost everything, but he said a whole lot, I wish I could start relaying, bit by bit what he has said. But he said that it will be the biggest mistake, that, the APC will make, by bringing in Akpabio as the Senate president. He also said that he doesn't hate Akpabio at all, but he is fighting for, justice, fairness, and equity. He's fighting for the country. That he knows Akpabio so well, and that the president shouldn't have allowed Akpabio to come in, even if, like you rightly said, the CP, you said you knew that this will happen 1 year ago during the primaries, but then that Asari is now saying that he shouldn't have made that mistake by bringing in Akpabio as the Senate president. In fact, he also went further to say, fine, that the Igbos fought for themselves, all right, during the election. They fought for their own candidate, their own brother, okay? They fought for the candidate they believe in, that is the candidate of Peter Obi, but then that the president wouldn't have done what he has done now. He is supposed to at least look the way of the Southeast and at least respect them, bring them together, have an inclusive government and all of that. CP, let me bring it back to you again. Do you think this is the right thing to do at this point in time?
Well, I have always, you see, whatever I say a good number of times is not my own personal opinion. When I make my personal opinion, I make it clear. But the opinion of good number of elites in the Southeast that I talk with from time to time, whatever is happening in the legislature is not of interest to them. The most important thing is for them to make good laws and not allow themselves to be used as rubber stamp to the executive. That is a concern of everybody. So it does not really matter where the Senate president comes from. So whatever Asari would have said is his own personal opinion, one. And number two, he's not a member of the APC, unless he comes out to tell us that he's a card-carrying member of APC.
But he fought for Asiwaju Tinubu. from campaigns up until
Sorry?
now, he fought for Asiwaju Tinubu. I mean, he fought for the president.
He did
Yes.
as a private person, not as a member of the party. We are not aware that he's a member of the APC. Unless he comes to tell us, then we will now say, well, he's talking as a member of the party. He's talking from outside, just the way I am talking from outside. I'm not a member of APC, and I'm not a member of any political party as we speak. So, because that will give me space and opportunity to be a social critic and very analytical. I should not be, at this point in time, be seeing white and telling you it's black. Then that means I'm deceiving myself, and a lot of people will lose the respect they have for me. Even if tomorrow I take a decision and join any political party, I will always maintain the truth the way it is. I mean, I can't be changed. That's why I am very reluctant to join a political party, because you have to be singing the tune of that party, whether it is wrong or right. And there are certain things you say, and they'll say it's anti-party activity. Then they will push you to one corner, and you can't freely express yourself. So, having said that, the Senate has already been constituted with the leadership structure, the way the leading political party had desired it. So let us all pray for them and wish them luck, wish them the best, and then time will tell.
Before you go further, CP, are you standing on the ground that, because earlier you've opined that the Igbos, do not that the Southeast rather doesn't need the position of the third man in the country. That if they can't? I mean, what happens to the first, position? What happens to the position, the seat of the president? What happens if an Igbo man becomes, the president? You said that instead of, going for that, there's no big deal. I'm trying to see how best I can quote some of the things you've said over time, that the third man is really not a big deal. What happens to the first man? Is that the reason why you have these, you're coming out from this angle, that you are coming out from this direction? Is that why you're saying what you're saying now?
You see, I've always maintained this position that the average elite from the Southeast, in their analysis, sees the position as a third position. After the position of the president, the vice president, then you call in the Senate president. If they are cracking their jokes, they'll tell you that it is like the place is provided for third-class citizens.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's the way they see it. It is a place meant for third-class citizens. Are you trying to tell them that they are third-class citizens? It is either you give them number one or you forget it. That is their position. And they are saying it, on basis of equity, that it has gone to the South, possibly by accident. And when it has come down again to the South, it should come to them naturally. But let us take it to things are played out the way it did. They'll go back and plan themselves for future and re-strategize. I think to them, that Senate presidency, they feel that anybody that gets it from Southeast is just his own personal thing. It has nothing to do with them as a region. That's the
so it's not a collective. You're saying it's not a collective support?
No, to them it's not. It's not an issue. It's not a serious subject matter. They are not interested in that. They are more interested in survival.
What do you mean survival?
Many of them are key players. Well, economically now and financially too. You know, many of them are into private sector and private enterprise. That's where they are more interested in policies that will favor and promote free enterprise so that they can apply their tools of trade in that area and grow the economy of Nigeria and their own personal survival. That's more important to them. Don't make any policies that will be discriminatory or that will look as if some people are targeted, you know, so that they will be sidelined, and not only sidelined, they'll be threatened. Their survival will be threatened. That's just their concern. So the issue of governance, their interest is let's have good governance. And the ship can keep cruising. So it's not a question of what happens in that legislature, that National Assembly. It's not very important to them. As a people, they believe that anybody in that place can even be the Senate president, whether the person comes from even North Central or Northwest. It doesn't really matter to many of those elites I've been talking with.
Let us also have a critical side to all of this. Now, the Ninth Assembly, according to Nigerians, was so rubber stamped. It was, I say you do, I say you don't argue. I submit a letter, I submit a proposal, you accent. I mean, you give it a nod. And Nigerians are now saying, okay, let's look at the 10th Assembly now. What's going to happen when we have, you know, the president who was coming, you know, to want to, like I said, some persons feel that Pabio is just has just been compensated. Now, what is going to happen to this same 10th Assembly that has Akpabio, someone who stepped down for the president and he has been compensated? Are we not going to experience another rubber stamp Senate the way it's going?
Well, what you look at in the Senate leadership is that Akpabio is only one man. He cannot direct the Senate in a direction that the majority of the members will not want to go.
Saraki was also just one man who led the 8th Senate, and you knew what happened.
Yes. That time was then. This time is different. The entire thing is dynamic. A lot of people would have learned their lessons from what happened in the 8th Assembly. And 9th Assembly too have both their good and bad sides. So this 10th Assembly is completely different. Let them hit the ground running. Within a short time, we'll begin to assess their performance. They know that the scorecard is always open for people to look at what they are doing there. If they do well, many of them will be guaranteed to go back by 2027. So if they just go there for some of them to be sleeping, and once they say this direction, they say, Aye. In the next 4 years, they will get the result of just being armchair senators who are just there to warm the seats. But if they are there, you know, coming up with strong arguments, and they are articulate to even challenge the executive when they bring in things that are not good enough for the entire nation, something that will not add value to what we have already on ground. They have the choice and the chance, opportunity to say, no, this one will not fly. they'll throw it away. So by the time they start performing, Nigerians will nod their head and say, yes, this is exactly what we want. And furthermore, well, at least this is an improvement to things we have had in the past. So it is too premature, it's too early to begin to judge how they will run the Senate. So those who are thinking because Akpabio has become the Senate president, that means the place has already become a rubber stamp place. They are making the greatest mistake. They'll be shocked by the time a place becomes fully active with their legislative duties.
Well, we also believe that these persons are those that will say aye when, they are called upon at any point in time, the way it is going. Again, I want to bring back the issue because a whole lot of, I'm getting several messages on our platforms here from persons saying if an Igbo man, someone from the southeast, cannot become the Senate president, then at least they should have at least considered, the position of the deputy Senate president. At least if you want to say, okay, fine, Akpabio should take over the Senate, the Senate presidency, what about the deputy Senate president? Again, that begs the question, where is the place of a man or someone from the southeastern part of Nigeria? What happens?
How do you think you will give Senate president to South? Then you can give deputy Senate president to the Southeast. You can see that it doesn't add up at all. It is such that you plant a tree here, you should cross to the other regions that are on the other side of the country, which is the north, and plant another tree on that side to run as deputy. And the same applies to the Speaker of the House. If you plant the speakership there in the north, then you come down to the south and plant the deputy speaker's position too. So that's the way they do all those things. I think it's a party decision. So anyhow they want to do it, so be it. All we want is good governance. And not only good governance, a God-fearing governance that will block all the loopholes where the nation resources had been corruptly leaking in the past. They need to block all those holes and, if possible, recover the looted funds. Wherever they trace them, let them recover them so that we can get out of this mess we find ourselves.
CP, we have been talking about unity. We have been talking about fairness. We have been talking about equity. But then I would also ask, where is, the place of a Southeasterner in this government? We're not seeing the Southeast taking up major, positions in, this government.
Well, the government has been formed by a political party. So those who are the members of the party from that part of Nigeria should know how to go and argue their interests and their position to see if they can get something for themselves. Well, whatever they get, so be it. That is for them, it's not for the South.
Not for the Southeast.
It's only, yes, whatever they get is for themselves. The only time we will know
Hello?
in the region in terms of industrial or, infrastructural developments, when they bring in some changes, it could be in health, it could be in road construction or reconstruction, it could be in power, improving power supply, it could be in health, it could be in education, and so on and so forth. It is when they see the dividends of good governance coming to that part of Nigeria, they will now, say kudos to those that have been given those positions of authority from South. For the average Southeasterner, they don't give a damn who you give any position, whether you give him minister or you give him a position of responsibility in government. What matters to them is how far in terms of what is going to other parts of the country. Let the bid for Southeast come to the Southeast. That is just their concern. And however, I will also come in this way that what will be of concern more to the Southeast is this issue of employment and empowerment. They have a large number of graduates from tertiary institutions who are looking for different types of employment, especially in the public sector, which is where the government has a role to play. Their interest is that places like Federal Character Commission, this is a time for them to come out and reflect the employment of this teeming youthful population who are fully qualified to get government employment, that you distribute it across board, just like we have 109 senators from the Federal Republic. Each state has 3 senators to produce. So if you have 109 spaces of employment, look for there. You can't tell me that you don't have 109 qualified Nigerians from all the states. Be sure you carry them along. Each state, give them 3. That's their concern. That is where this issue of marginalization or discrimination will not be a subject matter anymore. They will not want a situation where what we have been reading in the papers, on television, watching on TV, and seeing the social media, where very juicy institutions in Nigeria are lined up by people from one particular part of the country. From the beginning, maybe up to 50 of them or 40. You see people from one particular geopolitical region. They are the people occupying it. You would have been seeing it. I don't need to come out to repeat myself or to tell you it is from so and so. It's obvious. It's too glaring. So this government need to sweep away, as the reforms go on, sweep away those type of hegemony, this type of feudalism we had, total marginalization of certain parts of the country. Things that are detrimental, contagious, and not working in the interest of certain areas in Nigeria. They have to balance it and carry everybody along. That's just.
You spoke about balance, balance and carrying everyone along. Okay. I think in all of their manifesto, everyone spoke about having an inclusive government. When they come on board, Peter Obi spoke about having an inclusive government. Kwankwanso also did same. Atiku Abubakar also said the same thing, and of course Ashiwaju also said the same thing. But we all are looking forward to, at least whichever government that comes in on board, we're looking forward for to see that inclusiveness. But right now we're really not seeing it. The truth must be said. We're not seeing it. It's like everything, like I mentioned earlier, is going to either the northern part of Nigeria or the south or the west, and the eastern part of Nigeria is left, or is just pushed aside, the way it is. I mean, is it again? I ask, is it like a punishment for meted out to those in the southern, in the southeastern part of Nigeria?
I am not a member of their party. Their party have their reasons for appointing people in various political office holding positions. So if they decide to skew the appointments, it is their party team. Others, if you feel aggrieved, you go and sit down and console yourself.
No, they don't sit down. They go to court. Those are aggrieved should go to court.
No, you can't go to court. You cannot go to court on a political appointment.
Okay.
Go to court to argue what.
Okay.
Are you a member of the party? You are not part of the party. So leave the party to do their things the way they want it. If you are aggrieved, you wait for the election. That's the only thing. So people shouldn't even lose sleep in that direction. What they should think of is not issue of political appointments. They should wait and see that there is fairness in cake distribution, revenue allocation distribution. They will follow the template, and then if they are, if they are distributing investments, federal government investments by way of infrastructure, by way of health institutions, by way of improving the conditions in tertiary institutions.
Okay.
And even in engaging employment, in engaging employees, they should just have that fear of God and balance it out. That's where my interest lies, or my concern lies.
All right.
If you're not a member of the party, you are expecting to come and get a political appointment, then that shows you're not a serious person. But at the same time, there are appointments that require people with technical expertise. They may not even be members of any political party. If the government will listen to advice from outside, from those of us who are not even part of their political machinery, they should, from time to time, look for people with experience, tested and trusted, people that have either worked in Nigeria or worked in international institutions overseas, and have that track record that if you bring them in and bring them on board, they are not party members, just give them the position and try them. Yeah, I think we'll go a long way ahead out of the mess we have seen ourselves in presently.
All right. Thank you so very much, CP. I would of course get back to you, because I would want to at least relate the issue of Nnamdi Kanu here. But then let our listeners know that we're streaming live on YouTube, and so it means you can go there and watch the conversation, and also get to drop your own comment just to write there in the comment section. Okay, I will always let you know that you can also drop your comment via WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is simple: 0700 903 9039. That's the WhatsApp number to send your message to. 0700 903 9039. Then I would also want to open up the studio lines right about now, so you can join me. You can participate in the discussion robustly. Let's do this together this afternoon. 0700 903 903 903. Wherever you're calling from, that's the number. 0700 903 903 903. Yeah, but hey, you have to be civil, and keep it 60 seconds. That's how I like it. Just 60 seconds. Those calling from diaspora, just use the WhatsApp also. Yeah, if you want to call it, use the WhatsApp 0700 903 903 903. Now let's get to the phone lines now and take calls right now. Let's get there. Let's go there. Hello, good afternoon to you. 0700 903 903 903. Good afternoon.
Hello. After, sir.
Good afternoon.
After, sir.
Good afternoon to you. What's your name and your location?
Hello.
Good afternoon. I can hear you.
After, sir.
I can hear you. Good afternoon.
You see, if you didn't see he goats, you use disaster burial. I think our Fabio is okay to the success. That is why Nigerians are crying. Design yourself the way masses will admire you. You will become a good person in the system. So, Fabio is okay. But Nnamdi Kanu is I will beg Tinubu to use his good office to help Nnamdi Kanu to come out from the prison. That is my opinion.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much for talking to us. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. Good afternoon to you. Hello, good afternoon. Hello? Please do well to call back. Do well to call back. I'll get to read all of the messages on WhatsApp, okay? But let's take it one at a time. Good afternoon to you.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm fine. What's your name?
OCP, this Ambassador Muslim promotion.
Beautiful. Good to hear your voice again. It's been a while.
OCP is listening. Are you here? How are you?
Yes, I can hear you.
No, I'm talking about CP. Can CP hear me?
Hello, CP. Are you there? Oh, just go ahead, please.
Oh. Hello?
Go ahead.
Okay, I want you to listen to me. You know, he asked him most strategic questions, and I love the way he answered. I want, if he listens to me, I want to just ask him one or two questions. Now, let's go to the Charles Soludo book. What he wrote, the letter he wrote about Obi, he said that Obi should drop his ambition not to jeopardize the chance of the East, if I'm correct. And he said that he should, supposing now Obi listened to Charles Soludo and he team up with Atiku. Don't you know that for now, APC are nowhere to be found if both of them team up together. And after Atiku starts, the chance of the East could have been bright. Because it's what Shalizo wrote. But no, for them, go separate, give APC chance. Now, for now, the chance of the East now is dicey. Because I believe when Tinubu start, the power will go back to the North. What we look into this direction, as the politics is about balance, I believe Uzodinma will bring this government to the East. It's only hope that I believe that it will be well represented in this government with Uzodinma. If I'm correct, please, I want to hear from you. Thank you.
All right. It's okay. It's okay. How I wish the CP started this discussion. He started listening to you from the beginning. But then, CP, did you hear what he said?
Give me in a nutshell what he said.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure you heard what he said. But the truth is, Senator, I said Senator Musbah. Well, maybe you become a senator very soon. maybe you become a senator very soon. He said Hope Uzodinma is the only person who he sees that can bring hope, to the southeast. He said that first. And Sibi, are you seeing that also? Do you think he's going to bring hope? He is the person who would bring hope to the southeast?
Let him sort his integrity issue out first. The way he became the governor of Imo State is still trending. So I leave it at that. And maybe by later part of the year, when they do their election in Imo, let us see how it will play out. I don't want to go into any discussion concerning Senator Hope Uzodinma, the governor of Imo State. I mean, in the calculation of power going to the southeast, I don't think anybody will even be looking in that direction at all. Nobody will look in that direction. When the time comes, well, we'll see how it will play out.
Well, he also said
For
that.
Now, yes.
That Peter
For
Obi.
now,
He said for now what?
No, for now he's not in the equation at all. Hope Uzodinma is not in the equation.
Not in the equation.
Let him battle politically to see whether he will get back to that Douglas house by later part of this year election.
Okay. All right.
Because to you and I, to all Nigerians and people in diaspora,
Hello.
we knew how he became the governor of Imo State.
Hello.
All right. Thank you so much, CP. Let's talk to you. Hello, good afternoon.
It's not a new thing.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you.
This is Samson from Italy.
Welcome, Samson.
Yeah, concerning your visitor, your guest that you bring, the CP, I think the man, I disagree with the man. Like, the man doesn't want unity for Nigeria. I'm Yoruba person. If normally it's three legs in Nigeria, we have Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa. If the first person can take Yoruba, the president can go to Yoruba, while the second position go to Hausa, the third position should go to Southeast for the fairness and justice. Fairness.
Can you say that again? Can you say if the first position? Oh, hold on, wait. Can you say that again? Is that if the first position goes to who?
The third position should go to Southeast, not South, not Senator Fabio. No, the third position should go to Southeast. If you want peace, that's Nigerian. If you want peace, if you don't want another civil war again, they should create a space for Southeast. They should not want that civil war that repeats itself. 1966 should repeat itself again.
Okay.
Let everybody come together. Should give Southeast position. Look at this Okubo waiting for this Niger Delta militants. She come out. The man said the truth. We don't want war again. But if we continue like this, we are creating a war in Nigeria.
It's okay. Thank you.
We don't want people in Nigeria. Let them go.
Thank you.
Let them go.
Thank you so very much. Let me let you first of all go. Thank you. Well, I think it's the same thing CP also said. CP did not say that an able man cannot become the Senate president. But, the obvious right now is that an able man is not the Senate president of Nigeria. Okay? And one of the things the CP said is that what stops an able man from becoming the first man, the president of Nigeria? So he also said that if an Igbo man cannot become the president of Nigeria, then the third position is still not. They don't need it. That's what he said. It's the first or nothing. That's what he said. He is not saying an Igbo man should not become the Senate president. That was not he said. That was not what he said, brother. Okay? Thank you so very much. Back to the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon.
I think this is, can you start let
okay, I think you see
question.
He's gonna hold on. I will CP, can you hear him?
Please, I want his response.
CP.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I repeat myself? You can just interpret what I said to him.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, CP, are you listening to me now?
Yeah.
Okay, now, CP, my question to you is that I want to go back to Charles Oludo letter to Obi. He said that Obi should join hands with PDP, not to subsidize the chance of the East. Now, supporting Obi team up with Atiku, do you think APC has a chance? No. Despite his party and support, they have no chance. But now, I'm telling you now that APC has succeeded now. After the tenure of this president, the power will go to the east, to the north. Tell me now, how will it happen? And I told you that the only hope that can bring things to the southeast that for the road is playing right now. I know that it's a deal with that, but I'm not sure he got it right. Also, to the man, take it from me. He's going to bring this government back to the east. Whether I like it or not.
Okay.
Right now.
Yeah, sure. All right, thank you. Sipi, did you hear what he said? Excuse me.
Yes.
You heard him?
No, I didn't hear him clearly. Just
okay.
Okay.
He said, in a nutshell, he said that Obi went wrong for not supporting Atiku. He came in from that angle. That the reason why this position is not given to the southeast is because Obi did not support Atiku. If Obi had supported Atiku, the whole thing wouldn't have been the way it is now. That APC wouldn't have had the opportunity to clinch power. All right. That if Obi had supported Atiku, this whole thing would have been gone. Would have been given to Atiku and not APC. That it was because Obi did not support Atiku. That's why APC could come in the way they did. Do you believe that? Do you told the same path with him?
His argument is not that's his personal opinion. But his argument does not really reflect the wishes and aspirations of the Southeast vis-a-vis the last election. The position of the Southeast, from what we saw, is that the North has held the position for 8 years. If a Southerner had emerged from the PDP, that is where the argument could have been strong enough. Now, is he saying that we could afford that and ensure that the North continues another 8 years, making it 16 years?
Okay.
Where does the equity come in there? Where is that justice? So it could have been reasonable if the PDP had considered and allowed South to produce a candidate like what we had in 1999, where it was AMPP and the PDP all producing candidates from the South. AMPP matched with Aide and produced the Olufalaye.
Okay.
So that means that there is this fairness that the thing is meant for this part of the country, the southern Nigeria. And it was even close, it was even within the southwest because of the June 12th imbroglio and what happened to MK Abiola. So it was like compensation for them. Now, by 2007, they had done their 8 years. They can now naturally move to the northwest. Granted that, unfortunately, the then president, Umaru Yar'Adua died, and the vice automatically, based on the constitutional provisions, became the president and went to South that held it for close to 6 years. So the thing now moved back again to the North. The North have done 8 years, so how can any right-thinking person say that the thing should continue again in the North? That was the argument. Is that if they don't like Atiku, or that Atiku is not a friend to all Nigerians? The argument was that he would have just sat and played a godfather's role than coming out to be the president or present himself as a presidential candidate. I know what would have been worrisome to Atiku is his age. He would have been weak and tired to be gunning for presidential position, because it's not an easy thing. It's a very rigorous thing to do that campaign in the length and breadth of the country. It is really taxing. So I'm sure the man was just working on the nick of time to see if he can grab it this time.
All right.
You know? So the odds were really against Atiku. And unfortunately, the PDP now presented him. Even the North knew that it wouldn't be fair for somebody from the North to take the power and do another 8 years. That is even the argument, that the power has to go down to the South. So the South, on their own, produced 2 candidates. One from the Southwest, who was arguing that he was not saying that it is a turn of the Southwest. He said it is his own turn, based on the understanding in the party. If you had listened to him, he said, he didn't say Awalokon. He said it was his own time and turn as a person. And then for Obi, those who are now misconstruing Obi as an Igbo candidate, they missed the mark. They are just being unnecessarily political and sentimental. Obi came out as a third force, supported by the youth and the masses, who felt that they need to remove the ruling class because the ruling class has not been favorable to them. If you look at the spread, the way he was voted for, they were not looking at it. Granted that he had good number of percentage of votes in the Southeast, you would have seen that even in the South, in the North Central, he was getting votes. And in Lagos. So somebody should not just come and begin to say that it is because Obi did not team up with Atiku. That's not it. Atiku was the one who caused what happened to the party, to the PDP. And that was why even Wike and the other 4 governors who joined him, they formed the G5, were fighting him because they said that the man didn't fulfill their agreement not to even come out, that he would have left it for people from the South to hassle for it. And the way it was going, they didn't even care whether somebody from South or Southwest or Southeast that would produce the candidate. But for him to feature marked the turning point on the loss of that political party.
VOP 90.3 FM. Thank you so very much, CP. Let's see if we can take some more calls now. Let's hear from you. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Ikame Jude. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Good afternoon.
Okay, I don't know if the CP can hear me. Good afternoon, CP.
Good afternoon.
Okay, please, the CP has actually told you the truth about the Southeast mind over the whole election and political matter going on now. Sorry, my name is Dan and I'm calling from.
Go ahead, please. Just go ahead.
So he has actually told you, I'm telling you, and go to the street, go to the social media, ask questions. ask the Igbos, they will tell you that they are not interested in the Senate president. Even the vice president, they are not interested. What they were interested were on that number one. It is not because I know that by looking at the whole thing, it was the Igbos that were supposed to actually come from the PDP, from the southeast. But eventually PDP did not do that. Now, you know, the Igbos voted Peter because they felt that he was the right man. So go down the history. Even you know that someone like Chukwemeka Odumegwu has contested the election as president. You know, what happened then? I think against Yaradu or so at your passenger. Listen, he didn't get up to 65% in his own state, that is Anambra State. You know how the whole Igbo people hold Odumegwu in high esteem. He is their hero. But the fact that he cannot be the man at that moment, the fact that he may not be able to do it right as a Nigerian. So that was why they voted the other candidate. So the Igbos, they are not interested in the Senate president. Neither is it. If they are not interested in the Senate president, why would they want the deputy Senate president? For what? They are not even interested in the vice president of Nigeria. Do you understand?
All right.
Anybody telling you that the Igbo should have been this or that, that person is not speaking the mind of Igbo. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Let's go this way. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Judy.
Good afternoon to you.
This is Mr. Desmond calling from Oshodi.
Welcome, Mr. Desmond.
Thank you. The man has said it all. But my own point is, I keep on saying that the politicians are the one killing this country, this place called Nigeria. Because if you have a good leader, I don't think I will be mindful of where his representatives come from or where representatives come from. It's because of irregularities and the bad leadership we are having that make me and you discussing where this person comes from and who is taking this position. If the presidency share the resources the way it ought to be, they give the law how it will affect me and be good to me. I don't want to know who is in that particular state. What we want is development.
Okay.
How my village in Imo State will be very good. How also local government will conduct local government election and I will be a bank in also local government. How a Kitikopa will develop. How Zamfara will develop. How breeding KB will develop. Not who is there, but who can develop this country called Nigeria for us. It doesn't show up. We must be this people, we must be this people. We have so much ethnic in this country. We're so many. We are looking for who can do this thing well for us. Another thing is, I don't know why we're giving recognition to these people. Look at what is his name? This guy just called out from a job talking as a federal. Look at MC Olomo talking as a federal. Who are these people? Who are there to tell us what to do in a government ruled by intellectuals, professors? Who knows at that over? We're not using these people who are not supposed to talk in our society, who are not doing the right thing. We're not giving them mouth to talk in a federalism. It's not fair to us. It's not fair to professors. It's not fair to elites of this country. May the Lord help us.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so very much for calling. I appreciate that call.
Thank you so very much for calling.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, good afternoon to you. Okay. Let's take more calls now. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jude.
I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah.
We're having issues with your network. Please do call back if you can. Do call back if you can. 2:38 p.m. Right here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You see, all the people who are talking, they are talking something good. You know, if we look, what you see, Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa, all of us, we are one. But if you look from our father, since we got independence, you know, Atiku is the president. Then Akabalawa, do you know? Later, when military called me, there was a Yoruba man who is the most ranking general, on the way that time. They have to install this man, Gowon, because I know I'm not too small that time. You know, that one make
Ojukwu first when he was Eastern governor. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now, the press come in, they deceive Ojukwu. That's what you see there inside Hausa people that they used with Yoruba. I understand that if they give them, maybe they can break the country. But let's everything has gone begun, and let's stay at once, not to divide Nigeria. If it is their time, let anybody like that person who talk last, who has the knowledge to rule us. You understand? Let's all decide follow him and see what we are looking for. This is what this Baba is looking for, Obasanjo. We should let that, Hausa people should forget that one. Yoruba people should forget that one. We are all one. That is what is the mind of people. I'm telling you the truth. Oh. If you believe, make it believe.
All right.
You understand?
Thank you.
We should forget that one. That one has gone. We should not sell ourselves to the foreigners again. Ojukwu was claiming that he's superior, he has rank more than Gowon. I'm 61 years of age. I know the time. You understand? If that is Jebu man, no run away, Yoruba man. Now it's been for put that after they killed this man in Ibadan.
Thank you.
That one. That's what the head does. Those people who are big people, northerners, and you understand, they know that they can be.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for talking to us. Let's give the other persons the opportunity to talk. Thank you. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Jude. This is Ugo.
Ugo, where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from overseas. Big greeting to the man when Sabi, the CP.
All right.
It's like the fearless judge that the Bible talks about, apart from that he doesn't have the same character with the person, but he's always pronouncing his argument. I appreciate him.
All right.
The thing with the Nigerian leadership is that we are, in fact, their confusion is confusing everybody, including other African-related countries. This issue of leadership, where South is coming from, is because they are sharing how do I put it? They share Nigerian wealth and the Nigerian commonwealth within themselves. That is why we're talking about South, East, South, West, South, North, South. Where I am, the Tannet where I reside, and the county where I stay, I don't know any person that is holding any political post there. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And everything is in place. For God's sake, just as you said, just as the CP was narrating, the man stepped down, and it's time to pay back. Tinubu pushed Buhari in, and the Emilokon. Where are we going to? Where are we going to with all this confusion? Moving forward by one leg forward, 20 leg backward. The problem is this: we are not ready to move. So we'll continue running about, clapping for ourselves and think we are working. Actually, we are making a move, but we are rotating in a particular place. And the other part of the world, they are moving forward. The last time I checked Ghana CD to pounds, it was that was last year around June last year. It was eight out of that time it was 8 CD to one pound, and that time Nigerian naira was 740 naira to 1 pound, and this is the Ghana we said that they must leave Nigeria. Ghana must go, and today they are doing our people are going through a lot in Ghana, including flock jump. What brought you here? That's the question they are asking Nigeria, and now Ghana have become our hideout. Let us continue this way. Congratulations to Babio, because his appointment was actually mission accomplished. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so very much for talking to us. I appreciate your call. Thank you. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm Ben. I'm calling from Eva.
All right, Ben.
Yeah, what I'm saying, you know?
Yes, I can hear you.
The way, this case is highly contested in court. It has not been decided. And court is the final phase of the election. it is highly contested. After this case now, President Tinubu win now. Nobody will sue him to court. The only thing you can do is to sue the federal government to court, no matter the case you have with him. The way some people talk as if to say they have judged this matter. I don't like it because the case can favor Obi, can favor Atiku, can favor Tinubu. Nobody knows the way to go. Then they self know. That's why they hire lawyers. They pay billions to dollars. They pay lawyers. Even INEC pay billions to lawyers. That one is apart. Another one is that if Tinubu, the parties are not interested, we are not interested in Senate president. But for the fact that Tinubu want to go to Niger Delta, why should he be Abadu that have baggages? That you know, the way he looted fund in the NDDC fund, it was so obvious that they were asking him questions. He was even pointing
that nobody, it's only them that will take control of this country, and outside the norm.
Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing.
Thank you.
It is the military that will control this thing, they will contain it and make it a law in this country. That it is either the north, the east, the west, or whatever. Outside that, we are just rolling. This problem will continue this country. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you so very much for calling. I appreciate you. Can we take one more call before we go? Maybe. Igbos are not just interested in their survival. They are interested in leadership, which is also their right as Nigerian citizens. And as, what did you call that again? What class did you call that? Well, it's all good. It's all good. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. But then, Tsipi, maybe I should throw this to you before we go. He's saying that Igbos are not just interested in their survival, like you mentioned. He also said that they are interested in leadership, which is also their right as, Nigerian citizens, and as at the same time, and as the same class as all Nigerians. Maybe we should also add that. What do you think, CP?
No, I have no argument about what he has just said. It is perfectly in order that survival. You need to aspire to the position of leadership. But then, for you to get to that position, it must not be a do or die affair. Are you going to, kill yourself or shed blood of innocent Nigerians just because you're aspiring for the position of leadership?
Okay.
As far as I am concerned, there is time for everything. It's there in the Bible, in the Ecclesiastics. Times and season. If it doesn't come today, it will come someday. It may not even come in our time or in our generation, but sometime and someday, somebody from that part of the country will be there. It's law of nature. God has a way he has structured all those things. So if man on his own decides to walk against the will of God, I think that person is not, spiritual at all, because those aspirations by man has its limits. It will come to a time that God's direction will still come to stay. So let us take it that whatever we are seeing now is the way God has destined it. And by the time it will come to that part of the country, they may not even struggle for it. It will naturally come to them. That's the way I see it. So what they should concentrate or concern themselves with.
That is whether now or later.
Yes. Everything is in the hands of God. It is only for man to follow God's injunction, and the thing will manifest at the appropriate time.
Okay.
It is not something that you say that you're going to incite people, you're going to fight, you're going to kill people, and so on and so forth. That is not the solution, or it's not the way to it. If you want to know what I'm talking about, follow what is happening in Sudan. It is that fight for leadership by the man from Darfur region, who is heading the what do you call them? Something. They are not paramilitary. The man heading the paramilitary of Sudan, fighting with the man from around Khartoum area, who is heading the army. See the carnage, see the loss of lives, see the extent of damage they are having in that place, that part of Africa. So nobody will ever wish for his nation to go through all that just because of one person going to assume the position of leadership.
Thank you.
And at the same time, it calls for restraint on the followership too, those who are either out of sycophancy or out of eye service are trying to use this opportunity to begin to target innocent people who are neither politicians nor are they in government, but they are there doing their businesses. They have owned their properties legitimately. They didn't put anybody's property by force. They have all their documents. And somebody will come out to say he's going to come up with legislation that will push the people out of the space. Let us see how the thing will unfold. At the end of the day, the person will realize, or the group of persons thinking along that line, that place they are talking of, they came to this place, and they will also exit one day, and that place will still remain as it is.
Thank you, CP.
So people should not be bearing God. They should fear God when they are making certain pronouncements.
We'll talk more on hold on, CP. We'll talk more on Thursday on these. Yeah, I can see. Let's hold on. Let's hold it here. We'll talk more on Thursday by the special grace of God. Thank you so much, former Commissioner of Police Chukse Wonwo. We appreciate you for talking to us this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Do have a beautiful day today.
And you too.
Yeah.
And to other listeners.
All right. Bye. VOP 90.3 FM. Check your time. It's time to go. 2:55 p.m. Yeah. It's time to go. Don't worry. On Thursday, the CP will join me again and we'll continue the conversation. Okay? My name is Jude. Ikami Jude. On Facebook, Instagram, all of that. Ikami Jude. IKAMIJUDEH. One word. Follow me up and let's talk more. And also follow VOP across all socials at VOP 90.3 FM. I love you so much. I'll be here again tomorrow.